What's up, everyone? Welcome to Drumeo.
Hi.
As we go through the COVID era here, you see my hair getting longer and longer.
I haven't stopped wearing this hat since probably a month ago.
You pretty much wear the same thing in every stream, but we're here today to talk to you about left foot. And I always find it weird how we title these things left foot. We're really hi-hat foot, but 95% of drummers play their hi-hat foot with their left.
95?
I would say around 95, based on like 5% of people in the world are left-handed.
Is it only 5% that are left-handed?
But a lot of drummers who are left-handed still play the kit set up in a right-handed way. Not all left-handed drummers play a left-handed setup, meaning their hi-hat foot with their right foot.
Right.
So if you are a left-handed drummer and you play your hi-hat with your right foot, let us know. I'd love to kind of like get an actual sense for how many of us are doing it that way. Is it 1%? Is it 5%? Like, it should be interesting to know. So today, we're going to talk all about the left foot. And like I said to Dave right before this started, this is more of a boot camp for me, okay? A lot of times when I want to develop something, I'll come up with exercises based on other things that I've learned. And so we're going to be talking about some 16th note partials. And I kind of like make these little games or tests for myself. And so today is going to be all about that. I want you to play along with me, even if you're not at your drum set. So regardless of where you are, you can play along with me. You can literally tap right hand on the right leg, left hand on the left leg. Just bring up your feet to do that, and you can actually get a lot done this way. So I'd really encourage you to play along with me. And at the end of each segment, I'm going to be asking everyone who's watching live, or even if afterwards, make sure you post a comment and let us know an update about how you're doing with the stuff, okay?
Very cool.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to say is that the beat we're going to be playing is the same throughout the whole thing. It's just the money beat. Okay, so it's your standard beat, and then we're going to be focusing on adding in the left foot. Okay, so these three voices over here are our ostinato, and then we're going to be changing this throughout this entire lesson, and we're going to be checking out how much freedom you actually have with your left foot.
I love it. So we're all going to do this together. It's a boot camp, right?
Yep, right. We're all going to do it together, and then at the end, we're going to do shorter segments now, and at the end, we're going to try and do it all together.
Okay.
1 or 2 bars each, which is, I did it before. I think I only did it once perfectly all the way through, and the rest of the time I was totally messing up.
Okay.
So that's really hard, but I'm sure many of you can do that, and it's a really fun challenge for yourself. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to put hi-hat on quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and do this with me, okay? Whether you're tapping just where you're at or if you're on your kit. So that's a relatively easy one. Many of you probably got that. If you got it, let me know in the chat right now when you're watching this, okay? Or in the comments. Even if you're not never caught this live, you can just let us know in the comments. Did you get that one? Yes or no? Okay, now let's go to the next one. The next one is going to be on the E of each count. Okay, so 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, let me know, how did you do? You know, it's pretty much like a quarter note that's displaced by 1/16 note. That's all that
Totally.
is. The space between each one of those hi-hat hits is still the same as the space it was on the previous exercise, if you think about it.
People are getting it. The first exercise, Susan says, got it. Joseph K, good to go. Scotty Aldrich says, got
Yes?
it.
Amazing.
UK, sticks in hand. Dave got it. Lilota said he's got it.
Nice.
Jen Jitsu said they've got it. So we're doing good. What about the second one? Were you able to get that 16th note in there? That's a tough one.
Yeah. Okay, next thing we're going to do, it might actually find it a little bit easier. You find when you listen to grooves like the one I just did, you almost like start feeling a lot of tension. Like, because it's building this musical tension. Like, oh, it's like on the edge of like, I almost feel it's like this kind of like tumbly feel to it. Now we're going to kind of even it out again and breathe a little bit more with our hi-hat on the ands of each count. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3. Okay, so we'll do it a little bit shorter.
Cool.
Now, when I practice this kind of stuff, that's kind of the length that I'll want to be able to play it for without messing up.
Okay.
So if you're checking if you want to check yourself, like, well, if I can do it for 2 bars, no song is 2 bars.
Yeah.
And if you need, or no verse is really 2 bars or anything. So you want to be able to do it for a good 16, 32, 64 bars comfortably. And this isn't about speed. This is about making sure it's feeling good and you're hitting the note at the exact right spot. The next thing we want to do, if you can't figure out where we're going by this yet, the ah of each count.
Yeah.
So 1 E and ah, 2 E and ah, 3 E and ah, 4 E and ah, 1 E and ah, 2 E and ah, 3 E and E and ah, 1 E and ah, 2 E and ah, 3 E and ah, 4 E and ah. Okay, let's give it a whirl. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that was a little bit more difficult there.
That was a little bit more challenging.
You start feeling yourself going off balance. At least that's the way I feel. So let us know if you got that one, or if you got all 4 of them. How did you do throughout them? Are you 4 for 4? Are you 3 for 4? Are you 2 for 4? Are you 1 for 4? Let us know.
Lino says 1, 3, and 4 work well. 2 is the hard one for me.
Really?
Yeah.
The way I think about 2 is basically just right, left, ka, right, left, snare left, right, left, snare left, right. So it's kind of a little like the way I try and trick my brain into getting that. I actually find the last one the hardest, just because it is a little bit off balance. My feet just want to hit together.
Yeah.
And so it's just bizarre. Like my feet want to go.
Joseph K said the second one's tricky for me, just not consistent. X Hammer says, as long as I don't use my right foot, I can do it.
Yeah.
This is the hardest part. Both feet together, you can play your hands and your left foot. It's not as tough, but as soon as you get your bass drum in there, that's where it gets really tricky.
Yeah. All right, so let's go into the next one now. If you don't know where we're going with this, we're going to start doing 2-note groupings in the 16th note partials. So we're going to start on the 1 and the E. 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. So 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and yeah.
This one's tough because you got to have the speed down with your left foot too.
Yeah. And you want two distinct notes. You don't want it to one to sound different. And you'll hear when I'm doing it, I'm going to make mistakes. This is an exercise.
Okay.
It's not going to sound 100% perfect when I do it, but I hope to just it gets better over time.
I'll come in at halfway through you, just so it doesn't muddy it up.
2, 3. Dave, you did the exact same thing that I did in the beginning.
Yeah, 2 bass drums. You just want to do it. Shahir Motion says, that one's a little bit too complicated for me. If you can't do this, remember, we're trying to work on our left foot here, so just take out your hands. Just do it on the floor.
Yeah. We're doing 5 different variations here in this second group. I would call this the second level of your hi-hat, your left foot, or your right foot if you're the 4%-ish percent.
Yeah.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take that group of 2 and we're going to move it to the middle of that group of 4 notes. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Okay, so let's give it a whirl and keep track of how you did, because I want to know how you did on all 5 of these afterwards. If you're 5 for 5, 4 for 5, I want to see if you're keeping up. All right. Dave, you too.
All right, I'm ready.
1, All right, so we each had our struggles there. Maybe I don't know if you did. I did. I had a hiccup.
Yeah, the one hiccup. That's the only one I heard. But how did you do?
Yeah.
I found that one a little easier because you're not getting both feet at the same time.
Yeah. Again, think of it as like snare left, right, snare left, right, snare left, right. So it's 3 notes in a row, depending on how you think of it, and that's kind of how you can keep track of where the placement is, as opposed to trying to count it and think of this as its own thing on its own grid. Think of how these notes and where they're placed relate to the entire groove or the entire grid.
Sandra said this one was a wee bit easier for her. Patrick says big mess over here. That's good. We're testing out where you're at, and these are great exercises to keep doing on a daily if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so the next thing we're going to go, the third one, is we're going to play on the ands and the of each 16th note grid. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and Now you should find this one the easiest, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Now, for me, one big thing I'm always focusing on is trying to make sure the timing is not speeding up. It's very natural to speed this up, and because the left foot is going to be pushing it. Doing those 2 quick notes in a row, if it's not something you're used to, you're going to find that you start, crashes and burns. And so it's hard, but I'm trying to focus on the even spacing of those two notes. And it's definitely not perfect on my end, so it's just always a work in progress, right?
Yeah.
Dave, do you know the next one we're going to?
I'm going to imagine it's the last two 60 notes. So the
Well, we just did the last two.
one and oh yeah. So I guess we're going into the first and the last. One.
First and the last.
One,
Yes.
Two. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a 16th note shuffle.
Yeah.
Right?
I like this one.
No, you don't.
Okay, maybe I don't like this one.
No, you don't like this one. No. So, okay, let's give it a whirl and try not to crash and burn. Let me start it. Okay?
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to end that one early because, man, I sucked at that.
I like that one. I always found when I play, I always do a little bit of into my downbeats anyway. So I have that, tendency to do that with my bass drum as well. So like one or two times I accidentally did it twice with my bass drum. But
I would consider that one for me, like, I never got it.
So you would focus on this one over some of the other ones because you were great with the other ones. This one is a challenge.
So, yeah. That one's definitely a no-go for me. So right now I'm 3 for 5, and I'm hoping to get this last one. Do you know the last one?
What it would be? Every other and so
every other
so
16th note.
Yeah, every
1
other.
E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E 4 E and 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So I would say I got 4 out of 5, and we could do the eighth notes if you wanted to do 6. You could do eighth notes, which is just hitting exactly with the ride.
Yeah.
I think if we'll leave that out for now. So what did you get out of 5? Make sure you leave us a comment and tell us. Okay?
Chris Garner says, Gainer says 0 out of 5.
What? Come on, man.
Had to have got one of them.
I got 0. I got 4 out of 5. I would say. Dave, what would you say for yourself? 5
I got
out of 5?
5 out of 5 on those ones.
Really?
Yeah. And if you play double bass, that last one's easy because a lot of times you're rocking 16ths.
Right.
3 out of 5. Sorry?
And you do the foot assignment thing then. I know that's what Sean Lang does.
Sean Lang, yeah, foot assignment. Joseph K, 2.5 out of 5. Adam Block, 3.5 for me.
You can't get 3.5. It's either you got it or you didn't.
Yeah, what
it's
is
black and white here.
What is a 0.5? Like,
No,
Scotty Alders, 2 out of 5, clean. There you go. Patrick Paradis says -2. I mean, you got worse from watching this? Is that what you're saying?
All right, so next we're going to go on to our groups of 3. So we're going to start with the 1E and, 2E and, 3E and, 4E and. 1E and, 2E and, 3E and, 4E and. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd say that's pretty simple.
Yeah, it wasn't too hard.
Yeah.
I found some of the 2s harder than that one there.
Yeah.
What about you, though?
Yeah. So next after this, we're going to go to the E and So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Yeah, Felipe from the YouTube says Ghost Notes is cheating. 1, 2, 3.
All right, Patrick says, finally got one. Susan 2200 says she could do it without her bass foot. And then Scotty Elgis' left foot keeps saying easier to play all 16th notes. I can see that being the case too.
Well, it just bounces, right?
Yeah.
Now we could continue to go on some of these 3-note partials, doing the like 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E, or 1 and 2 E and 3 E. We're not going to go into that. This is not something that I even. No, I don't think so. Unless you want to try it. You can try it.
Let's give it a try.
Okay, so let's do the 1 E, skip the and the So 1 E and 2, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E, 3 E. I've never even tried that, so.
This is a boot camp, right?
Yeah, it definitely felt like I have not practiced that one. That was like off balance, terrible groove. It sounded, but really fun to try.
That's a good one. That's a good
It's
one.
really a good one. I think
There are
I've seen Thomas Lang do some of those, like with like a block or something.
With like 17 pedals, multi-pedal orchestration.
Okay,
So there we go. Do you want to do
one more.
another one of those? Do you want to go straight
yeah,
to
we're gonna
6?
do one and so 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E.
Cool.
So there you go. What do we have? 4 groupings there? 4 different ones?
We did 4 of the 3s, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say I got 3 out of 4. You did pretty good over there.
Yeah, I got these ones, 4 out of 4, I would say.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
When did you
Double
become...
bass, baby! Yeah, learn how to play double bass.
The last one, and please let us know what you got. Okay, out of 4 of those 4, what did you get?
All right, let's see.
Love to kind of see where everyone is at. It's a
I
fun
will
way.
still poo on that last one. That says Scotty Aldrich. Let's see the
that's a tough
YouTube
one.
chat. Do it in 13/16, Naruto says.
No thanks.
Nope. Good.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do all 16th notes. The full grid. We're going to fill it right up. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3. That's always a fun one to kind of start soloing around.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting experiment to try this with yourself, and I was working on it for an hour before we started here, just to kind of get warmed up, and it was really weird to see where I struggled and where I did good, and where I thought I would struggle and where I did good. So the next thing I want to do is, and that's kind of like, I would say level 1, if you get all of those.
Okay, like all what we just did there is level 1.
Yeah, I'd say level 1. I'm just making that up as I go, right?
Good, yeah.
So just for the purposes of like kind of talk about where do you take this on the next step if you want to make it more challenging for yourself. And the next step where I would take it is, let's say for the group, the original group of just single notes, let's play them sequentially, one after another, 1 bar each. So quarters, E's, ands, quarters, E's, ands, So 2, 3, 4.
Cool.
Do that, then the next step, go to the 2-note groupings, cycle those.
Which ones do you do? 1, 2, then the E and then the and and then the 1 and the
Yes, and then I do the offbeats.
Then you do the offbeats.
Well, I try. This stuff is still stuff I'm working on. So
ready?
I'll just can I just do it by myself?
Do it by yourself.
2, 3, All right, so if you,
Okay, getting there.
I would say I was 0.5 on that one.
That's where the 0.5 comes in. I love it.
So what do you? Try it.
Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4. There you go.
That's impressive,
That's
man.
the first. That's all of them, right?
Yeah, turning it around is also really tough, but I mean,
Yeah.
you were able to do the turnaround into the E's.
Which makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, so you understand like what the purpose of this is to make those transitions easier. And you're wondering like where the heck are we going to actually use this stuff? I think this is all this stuff, and the building freedom, building independence is all about creating as much. What Benny Greb, I learned from Benny Greb, is creating tons of headroom. So meaning that if you need to do it, you have that capacity, or Gavin Harrison talks about the CPU and creating additional CPU. And so this is why this type of stuff is so important in that you develop these types of things so when you get to the kit and you're making music, you don't ever have to even think about what you want to do. Your body just like, you can make these choices and you can execute quickly.
Before you go on, a lot of people in the YouTube chat are asking, they really like this concept, they want to practice it. When is this lesson be available? For you on YouTube, it'll be available for 2 weeks only. It's going to live permanently inside of Drumeo. So if you like this concept, go to drumeo.com/trial and you can watch it right after this.
It's a free 7-day trial right now. At Drumeo, we have the website, which you can use, where you can stream play-alongs, you can stream, you can do song transcriptions. There are all the entire lesson libraries in there. There's 3 packs. Rock Drumming Masterclass, Drum Technique Made Easy, Independence Made Easy, where there's a lot of this type of independent stuff. And you have the play-alongs are just absolutely massive.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't checked it out, please do so. There's many, many thousands of drummers using it. And it also has an amazing new app, which the team is consistently working on. iOS and Android apps. So you can also just go there and check it out on your phone right now in the App Store if you haven't done that. For Drumeo members as well, I know a lot of you watching in the members site, you might not even know about the app. We've been trying, like, we don't want to hammer people too much about it. If you don't want it, you don't want it. But the app is a pretty cool experience because you can download videos to your phone. If you're going on a drive, you have no internet, you don't want to suck up your data, you can download a bunch of the lessons and practice along with them in your account. So
and you get notifications when we release a new lesson or whatever. You get it notified. So.
Yeah. Nanto, talking about hire instructors, we always hire instructors. I'm looking to replace, we're looking for a new co-host.
Here it goes.
So I don't know if you know anyone.
Just be prepared to do 24/7 drum support via text message and phone calls if you want this position. So
okay, so last thing I want us to do we'll do the grid of 3s into the group of 4. I'll just do all those together. Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that one, it sounded like absolute garbage. My goodness, the feel of that was...
I wasn't going to say anything. No, I'm just joking. It's
like
a boot camp.
I literally feel like that was when I first started playing drums. That's how that beat sounded playing that. But this is stuff that I'm still working on as well. But it's really, really fun to do. So I'd really encourage you to check it out and test yourself. Now, the final test, Dave, and since you've been so good so far, I want you to do it.
Okay, what are we doing?
The whole grid, back to front.
Okay.
From single notes to double to triple to groups of 4.
I'll give it a try. I might forget a few, but...
If you forget a few, you're fired. We're going to give Nanto your job.
All right, Manto.
Nanto.
Manto. Here we go.
Nanto.
No,
Nanto.
Nanto.
Jeepers, peanut butter in his ears.
Peanut butter in my ears. I was going to do a clave at the end there, but did I miss one? I think I missed one.
You missed 2 and you went back and got 1. You
Right.
missed the...
I knew it. I was like, there's one I'm missing. I'm not going into straight 16ths yet,
Yeah.
but that's a good challenge. It might be good to have it, on a chart or PDF or just like a
Yeah.
little reminder so
Yeah.
you know.
Now
There you
to kind of talk a little bit more about left foot stuff, and just to share one thing that I like doing with it that's almost like I would say a little bit of a left foot hack, is if you learn heel toe. T, can you go down to the foot cam, please? Yeah, there you go. So you have heel toe with the bass drum, right? It's just one note, or it's just one movement, and I'm getting 2 notes. Now, I like to do this with the hi-hat as well, okay? And the way I do it is I basically start the heel toe on the and of 1. So, and I get this cool sound. So it's a bit of a bad demonstration there, but normally I'll actually do it with quarter notes.
Min Huang has a great compliment for us. Says, I like it when drummers, or I want drummers to expose themselves more like you do, showing their shortcomings. It's awesome.
Well, you're going to get lots of those, so there'll definitely be no shortage of shortcomings.
No, you're at the right place if you want shortcomings.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with this kind of stuff. So I would encourage you to continue exploring. I'm sure many of you are going to take this places that we never thought of, and that's the beauty of the internet, what we get to do here, right? And we get to hang out, share ideas, and then I'll see it a week from now, someone from Indonesia just has taken us to a whole entirely new level.
Some 9-year-olds just put us
Multi-pedal orchestrations, moving the 16th note grid with like wood blocks and cowbells, spreading his left foot over multiple pedals.
Yeah.
So, any questions? If there's any questions in the Drumeo members, we'll get to those first, and then hopefully we can chat with some of the YouTube subscribers as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
But I hope everyone's doing good during this, I call it the COVID era. I know there's a lot of death, which sucks.
Why did you bring that up?
I'm sorry, man.
What a way to...
But also there's a lot of people just at home wondering what to do when they're going to get to go out. And so there's a lot of, I think, people getting in their own heads, and there's, we all know that there's more mental health issues now. There's more domestic issues. There's just more like other challenges that arise from this. And so let us know how you're doing. Let us know if you have any questions related to this. We'd love to just chat with you all for a little bit. So
there's some questions here from the Drumeo members.
All right.
So DK Ludwig says, hey, any good daily exercises to train your left foot? What about this?
This is it.
This is it.
in our
Daily
heads.
exercises to train your left foot. Is that you?
Yeah.
That was you? Here's one from Divyanesh. Divyanesh says, hey, Jared, I want to ask the question that I had done a play along with the song Perfect. So please be in my live chat and let me listen or have a listen. What? Send us a link. I think he's asking us to check out his song.
Okay.
And he says, please answer my question. We just did. Email jared@drumeo.com, the link, and he'll check it out. Here's one from Narcosis. Narcosis says, what is a batter head on Dave's bass drum? What is the batter head on Dave's bass drum? I'm rocking the Evans EQ3, I believe.
Same over here.
Same over there. It's a clear head. This is a 20-inch bass drum. And this is the same kit and the same head that Alex Rudinger used.
That lesson is coming out soon, by the way, for those on YouTube who missed it, as well as in Drumeo. I think it's probably already in Drumeo. But it's coming out on YouTube in the next week or so watch out for it, because it's speaking of like some mental health stuff, it's called Mental Health for Drummers, and Alex really opens up and shares a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
He was, talking about, I wouldn't say shortcomings for him. It was pretty awesome what he was willing to share, but talking about someone being exposed, he kind of just told everyone everything.
Yeah, he went pretty personal in there, and it was like a really timely lesson too.
Yeah.
He was the last artist we had before the border shut down. In fact, when we had him out, the border shut down while he was in Canada.
Yeah.
So really cool lesson, and it's coming out very soon. All the Drumeo members have already seen it. It's inside of Drumeo already, but it's coming out publicly.
Yeah, we're stoked for that.
Gino just wants to know about adjustments on cymbals. Gino, you're always in the Q&As. Let's save this one for the Q&A because Kyle or me or Jared, whoever's in the Q&A this next week, would love to dive further into that.
What is it, cleaning cymbals?
Adjusting cymbals, which we could definitely talk about on a Q&A there. And then Noah asks, can you make a video on how to clean your drums? Noah from YouTube. In Drumeo, we have a whole series on maintenance and repair for your drum set.
David Raouf did one, and we also did.
Yeah, David Raouf is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't know who David Raouf is, check him out on YouTube. He's great. David R.
He's like the Bob Vila of the drum industry.
Big time.
That's why I say. Seamus Evely, our Drumeo Gab podcast, I call him like the Howard Stern of the drum industry.
Yeah.
Especially because he's tall and he's got big hair.
Yeah, he's
big
totally
friendly
the Howard
giant.
Stern, hey? Yeah.
And his voice is great. But we've got a lot of great instructors who've created some content. So all these questions that you have for all you YouTubers, it's all been curated inside of Drumeo. So whatever you need, we pretty much got it. There's not a lot we don't have when you have like almost 5,000 hours of content. So.
Yeah. We have tons of stuff on there. Gino says, I didn't ask that. Someone else did. Well, then we can answer it on the Q&As there and go a lot more in depth. But how y'all doing? How y'all doing out there with your quarantine? Are you practicing more? Or are you finding it harder to practice because you just have a lack of drive and motivation? I don't know. I've heard that from some people too, where it's like, I just wake up and all I want to do is sit on my butt and watch Netflix and stuff. So that's a possibility too.
Dave, do you want to play a song?
I'll play a song.
Here, I'll give it to you.
I'll just say before you do, Rhythm says, these days it makes it very dull to be in the home, being isolated from society. Please share views on how to stay motivated when we are alone from the scenes, friend gigs, anything. Jared, what do you think, man?
I find the biggest thing with motivation is goal setting, and that's what's going to really, really push you. But not only goal setting, but goal booking, or what I would say tell people to do is like set a date. Let's say 1 week from now, as an example. In 7 days from now, you're going to play 5 songs through Facebook Live or through Instagram Live or whatever. And you're going to put it out there and you're not going to delete it. You're going to leave it out there. And that's kind of your virtual concert or your virtual gig or your virtual opportunity. But just kind of like, it might not be a real opportunity in that a band asks you to play it or this sort of thing. But what it's going to do, it's going to make you feel like you don't want to look bad. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure you put something quality out. At least that's the way I am, and most people I talk to, they want to make sure they're well rehearsed, and so naturally that will then inspire them to actually do something and get some motivation because they have a purpose, they have a goal, and it's not like this unattainable goal that's completely out of reach. It's this goal that 7 days from now, you're going to be playing 5 songs on a Facebook live stream and you are not going to do any second takes. What you do is what is going to go out there. And I think that's going to really, really push you. So for me, like next week, I'm shooting in here all week, around 10 play-alongs and a whole new lesson series. Right. So what do you think I've been doing for the past month? Do you think I've been sitting on my ass at home? Or I've been practicing like a ton because when I get in here, I don't want to completely suck
and waste all of our time.
And waste your time. And so plus that's like a pack we're going to be selling and I want to make sure it's really, really good. And so it's discussing some ideas on drum fills, which I know a lot of drummers struggle with. So I wanted to do a good job. So I'm going to do a good job next week. And that was my motivation, was setting the date, saying we're filming on this date. And there's all these other people in the company that are counting on me to do that. And so I have to do it. Mm-hmm. That's my motivation.
Jacob, Alex says, I've been practicing wrong things more. I'm a classical flutist and been playing more drums and metal guitar than ever. I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
Eric says, I practice a lot during this period while listening to your super advice. Thanks to you and greetings from France. Greetings.
Greetings.
Some great comments here. How do you guys practice? How long do you guys practice? Well, it depends on what we're practicing. Yeah. Everyone has a different routine and all that.
30 to 60 minutes a day in blocks is good enough. If I try and go longer than that, you just get diminishing returns, I find. So rather do like one session in the morning, that's like an hour, 30 minutes, and one session in the evening where maybe you're not like practicing so much, but you're actually applying some of the stuff.
Yeah. Aaron L says, I hate the quarantine because I thrive on structure. Online classes aren't his thing. Yet he just got 1 million XP on Drumeo. He's the first one to top.
Congratulations,
Congratulations. X-Hammer says, I just got a new kit, so I'm playing quite a bit more. RH says, lots more practicing during this, so thankful for Drumeo right now. Thanks, man.
Thank you for being an online student.
Yeah, absolutely. Joseph K, I'm practicing more. Hard some days since I'm not working now and have anxiety, but playing my drums and lessons on Drumeo helps a great deal. Yeah, it's easy to get anxious and have all these uncertainties because you just don't know when things are going to go back to normal. A lot of people's incomes are on the line and stuff like that. So hopefully the drum room or your practice space is an area where you can go and kind of ignore and forget about the problems of the world and just focus on banging on drums. You know, I mean, it's a great stress reliever and it's a great way to kind of get your mind off things, right? So. Let me see if there's any questions that came through, and if not, I think we're good to go. Do you want to play a song together, or do you want me to play a song?
No, I thought I was going to get you to try a song.
Is it that hard, super odd time?
No.
Okay, here's last one from Ziffy. It says, guys, you're doing a great job. You know you're doing a great job when my wife moans that I'm on Drumeo again. Yes.
I love it. Okay, here we go, Dave. Ready?
Okay, I'm going to play a song apparently. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.
T, I'll give you some level one set. Just 1 sec.
This better not be...
It's not a hard song, it's a fun song.
Okay, cool. Some ABBA?
No.
Oh, that's a fun song.
mischievous pranks.
Fun song, hey?
That's a great song.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun that you can just like jam out and shed,
Yeah.
or you can.
You could solo over that?
But there's actually a solo section.
Is that a song?
So it's cool. It's
Oh,
cool
that's
tune.
cool. What song is that from?
It's mine. It's like from me working with Chris. Yeah, so it'll come out.
One day we
6
hope
months.
to be able to jam with that with you. That's a cool song. I
Yeah.
like it. Thanks
Yeah,
for not
but-
throwing me under the bus.
Well, it's one that's it's fun to play, even if you've never heard it before.
Yeah, you don't need to hear it. That's just a great groove. Great tempo, too. Yeah, very cool.
Thank you all so much for everyone watching. All you Drumeo members who are getting the most out of Drumeo right now, we've seen the amount of people using Drumeo has just gone up like crazy. Yeah. Generally, in the past, a lot of our students are adult students who worked jobs, and now there's with so many people home more of our students are utilizing the website for their education and so if you want to be one of those, if you're currently not using Drumeo, if you're on YouTube or you're somewhere else, make sure you go and check it out.
Yeah.
Drumeo.com. There's a great offer right now where you can join us for a year, get a bunch of free stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to have you. So you can also check out the app if you haven't. Members, please check out the app, Android, iOS. It's something we're really proud of and constantly working on improving. That's one thing I want to stress about Drumeo and the team here is like we're never content.
No.
We are not happy with stagnance. And so when you sign up, it always gets better and better. There's always more content and it's always getting better. You should see what Dave's working on with the song transcriptions. When's that coming?
Tentatively May 1st, it will be internally done, but it's probably going to launch end of May. That's the
Yeah.
goal. And before we do wrap this up, I got one last quote from
Sure.
one of the viewers on YouTube that I want to end this off with. Slow Porch says, and after all that, during that play along, we weren't using our left foot.
Well, I was.
Yeah,
A little bit,
we
but-
were a little bit.
I get what you're saying.
This is
What's
too
the
fun.
point of all this?
What's the point? And anyway, thanks so much for watching.
Yeah.
We'll see you again live soon.
See you next time.